Hey guys, I'm Emily and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be showing you how to draw or paint waves on Corel Painter 2017. So, you want something to turn out like this, with, rough waves or any kind of waves, doesn't really matter. And I'm going to show you how. So, what you want to do, let's go to what it should be called practice, but I don't see it. Let's see, show all windows. Here it is. Alright, so the first thing you want to do, you want your sky, and then you want your water. And for the water, I recommend starting dark, and for your sky, I recommend, light. You don't want something too, bright. You don't want it like a bright ass blue, no. I like to go more to a grayer hue. I don't know, that's just me, but I mean, you don't have to. You can do it like purple if you want, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But something kind of neutral for both. Okay, so we're going to start off. After you have your background, do a new layer. I always make one layer for sketch because sometimes it does not turn out the way you want it, and I don't want to have to ruin a nice layer that I had made, So we got that. Now I'm going to for the lines, I'm going to do it slightly lighter so I can see what I'm doing. And when I do my waves, I like to use liquid oil under the real wet oil brushes. And I like to use 7.3 or 7, between 7 and 8. So first you want to start out with your front wave, which it's supposed to be the biggest one that you have there. So you just go, if my thing doesn't lag, you want to do this kind of motion. If you watch Mural Joe, he calls these smiles, which I think is kind of cute. And he's actually the person that I learned from. So if you don't get anything out of this video, I recommend going over to his channel and learning from him. He's pretty cool. He does amazing things. And I will link his channel below. So there's the first wave. Okay, so anything after it or, behind it, you want it half the size. You don't want it as big. Go a little up like that. Maybe put one back here. No. And then you want even smaller back here. Again, it's your choice where you want to position them and the shape and whatnot. But this is just a basic way I'm showing you. Alright, so within each wave there's ripples and, smaller waves, and that reflects the sky. So this will take probably a bunch of times to get used to and practice, because honestly, I'm not even perfect yet. I don't even know if you can get perfect at this. It takes a lot of practice. And you just want to create. My stupid pendant lag. It'd be easier. Oops, I didn't want to go back that far. Oh look, I'm lagging again. Why is it that every time I want to do a tutorial on this program that it lags, but any other time I'm fine? What is that? What is that? Seriously. But anyhow, you want some more of these. And to be honest, eventually these lines won't matter because when you color or shade them in, you're not gonna really see them anyway. It's just a guide for you later on. So it's just really a guide. So we're gonna go over here, more little smileys. I mean, these can be random. Come on, pen, don't lag. You can make these ripples smaller, bigger, whatever you want. Whatever, you know, caters to your style, or your goal and what you want it to look like. I'm just randomly putting them in. And then you got your one wave. Let's work on this one real quick. Okay, good enough. I'm probably just only going to show you with the first 2 waves or so. Okay. Next layer. Start. I mean, it's dark enough, so you probably don't have to go darker. Personally, if I was doing my own project, I would make sure down here would be darker than what I have, but just for the purpose of this, I'm not too worried about it. So we're gonna do front waves. Okay, so get your color picker, you get this one, and one thing I will tell you is that as you go, the lighter you go, you want to keep moving towards a greener color. It makes it look more transparent, in my opinion. Okay, so we got that. We got color picker. So we want it slightly lighter. You know what? No, let's just go dark. Let's go dark because I feel like it's easier to show you that way. So we're gonna go darker because I like the contrast, and I think the contrast will be easier to show. And here, make your brush a little bigger. Yeah, that's too small. So it's too big. Okay, that should be fine, I guess. So you don't want to color the entire thing. And again, use the lines here as a guide. And you're just gonna, you know, just gonna shade up towards the bottom. I'm not too worried over here. That's still considered the bottom. And it's not that raised. So I'm gonna do a little bit here. one here. Come on, don't fail me now. For those of you who do use Corel Painter 2017, do you guys also experience some heavy lag? Like I am? Like, what the heck? When I used Corel Painter 2015, not once did it lag. Not once. And I wonder if it has to do with all the brushes they have that you can buy. Because on 2015 you can't get pre-made brushes, really. I don't think you can. No, I don't think you can. I'm feeling like that might be the reason why it does that. Like, there's no excuse. Come on. How are you gonna make somebody pay like over $100 for a program that's just gonna lag the entire time? Now, don't get me wrong. When it doesn't lag, this program's freaking amazing. It's so much easier to use than Photoshop. Just because you got pre-made brushes, everything's easy to find. You don't have to go through a bajillion menus, you know? They're just right here on your screen. You just, boom, there's your paintbrush. Boom, there's the eraser. Boom, there's your redo and undo. Or, yeah. Like, you don't have to go fishing for it. And it cuts down time dramatically. Yeah, this is like pissing me off right now, and I'm sorry that this is making the video slower and longer. That is not my intention. Alright, since it's being a pain in the ass, let's move to the next lightest color. So we have our dark, right? So then slightly move on the color wheel to a greener color. Don't want to go too far. And then you're going to go lighter. Not too light though. Like, let's see if this is a good color. I think it's too green. It's too green for right now. So let's go down just a bit. That should be fine. There we go. That's a better color. Come on. I'm not too worried about it. I don't care. Let's go back up. Come on. Alright, so back to this. Again, you don't want to color the entire wave that color, because you're still going to be adding, you know, a lighter shade than that. Depending where you are on the wave, you can. Like, if you're towards the bottom, that's fine. Actually, that's fine to color all that color. And now, there we go. Let's say now it's lagging again. I'm okay if I do a little bit more than half on here. That one's fine. Okay. This one I'm not going all the way. This one. Come on, Corel. What are you doing? Why are you playing me like that? Why? I mean, it's not like I'm streaming anything. Like, I'm not doing this live. Like, I don't technically even need an internet connection to do that. Or to use this program, so what the hell? Okay. So then you want to go up in the color wheel. You want that greener color. And you want it lighter. If we can get there. Come on. Is that the color we want? Alright, maybe I should make my brush smaller. $50? Is that too small? I guess we'll never know, will we? Hello? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's an okay color. That's not that bad. I hate having to pick my pen up from the screen because as soon as I do, boom, lag. So I'm gonna try not to. Which is kind of very almost impossible. See, I did it. I did it. And then eventually, after you get all your colors in, I would start using the smear number 2 tool, or brush, technically. Come on, Corel Painter, why you hating on me? There we go. And I lifted up my brush, because fuck. Why you hating on me, you stupid program? If I don't lift up on it, maybe it won't disappear. Just so you know, guys, I don't technically ever paint like this, where I don't lift off the screen. I'm only doing it so it doesn't lag. But I need to get down here. Oh, there we go. Okay, one more tip. Come on. No, that's what I thought. All right, now you want to start blending. Use your smear 2 brush, and if it doesn't lag, lucky you. I'm jealous. I'm gonna make it slightly bigger. No, but I don't know. I mean, I usually switch back and forth. So you get water that's more blended, smoother. And the size brush is actually pretty good. And you just do, I use a lot of circular motions. And then I also do random like back and forth, circle, both at the same time. You know, whatever works for you to get your desired effect. Gotta get this in here too. And don't worry about the lines not being like all over the place, because we will fix that. And sometimes what I'll like to do is I'll stab and get these lighter marks, and then you can add just like your own effect to it to make it look like it's reflecting off the sky more. I wish there was an easier way that I knew of. I'm sure there are easier ways to do this. Something more effective, but I have no idea what it is. If you know an easier way, let me know. I'm open to learning anything pretty much. Especially if it will help me get this done faster. Let's work on the bottom part. Sometimes you'll find different sections of waves you might want to put in different layers. Just because if you make this front wave perfect, and then you work on this one, and then you screw it up, and you run into this one, and you gotta erase, and yeah. I probably should have done that when showing you guys. If you want to add more dark, you can. It might improve it a little bit. But for now, I'm going to add some highlights. So, go back to liquid oil. And I'm going to go a little bit greener. But then I'm going to go slightly grayer. See, is this the color I want? Yeah, I actually like that color. We'll make the brush smaller though. Preferably between 7 and 10. I think I'm going to go a little higher though. Maybe I should just make my screen bigger. Yeah. Here you're outlining the tips, points, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to add some ripples. You don't have to, it's up to you. Again, I might go a little bigger. Do the tip. And this is why I don't really worry about the outline of the waves, because you fix them when you do this highlight. And you can just do random lines if you want. Maybe color just a bit up the top here, because we're going to blend it in. Let's connect that just a bit, and we're going to go maybe cover this part. My pen is lagging again. You don't want to go too crazy with it though. Like, you don't want to outline the entire wave. Just pieces. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Experience major lag again. Come on. Alright, since I'm tired of the lag, I'm only going to do a few more spots. Okay, I'm tired of that. Okay, let's go back to your Smear 2 tool. Why is it on diffuse blur? I didn't click that, did I? Come on, Smear 2. There we go. And for this one, I don't want it that big. And then you just drag it along here. And honestly, you can have fun with this. Go different directions. Now how come when I use the brush tool, like a regular brush, it lags, but if I use like a smear tool, it doesn't lag? What is that? What is that about? And you get this cool effect with the water after using your Smear 2 tool. Go like that, bring that over there. Go like this. And then you get that cool sky reflection right there. Now this method's slightly different from Mural Joe, just in the way that he actually does more traditional art, and he shows you with, I think he uses acrylic paint when he shows you. So technique is somewhat different. The color scheme idea is relatively the same though. But if you know your principles with traditional art, you can easily apply them to digital art. Let's see, I'm going to make some dabs here. Get some my own. Follow this out. There we go. It takes time, but honestly, it is so worth it. Just try to drag that in there. And to be honest, everything I know about digital art, I pretty much learned from YouTube, or I just applied what I knew about traditional art to it. So it's not hard to figure out. Starting to like this one way better than my original project. Perhaps I will keep it and turn it into something else. You know? I'm not going to waste this. And again, don't worry about the lines not being solid. You can either leave it, or what I do is I go in with one more highlight, which is the brightest highlight, and then I only outline the tippy top, or like a bit here, or like here. You know, I don't go crazy. I do even less than with what I did with this highlight here. But look at that. It gives it like this flowy movement that water has, you know. And then if you want to, you can add some more spots. And just go along with the line. Go different ways with it. Drag it out the other way. And you'll get something like that. That is freaking cool. It almost looks like ice too. And I wonder if you can do ice in a similar way. I bet you can. Alright, I'm going to go back in my paintbrush tool. Just be random lines at this point, because really you're just dragging and smearing to get the fluidity of the water. Is fluidity even a word? I don't think I made that up. Fluid's a word. Guess I'm just uneducated trash. Although I did go to college, even if it might not seem like it. Okay. Go over here. We're not gonna have a lot. Just random bits here and there. And that's what you'll get. Now, I'm going to go one more. I don't need the color picker. What am I doing? Alright, so I go smidge more green, and then a smidge lighter. I stay in the gray hue. Alright, so we're going to... I would make this brush smaller. See, I'm not doing the whole line there. And if you notice, waves have like trails, if you know what I mean. To, I guess, indicate movement. So we'll do that. We'll do one over here. And we'll go over here, do the tip there, make that one a little brighter, make some lighter spots there, here, and when I blend this out, you can either go super blend mode with smear 2 tool. Try saying that really fast 10 times. or you can just do it ever so slightly just to get it slightly blended, you know. Yes. I'm gonna leave that one there. This one, that's pretty high. Color the tip just a bit. Come on. This thing's lagging again. There we go. Over here. Probably won't do it on the tip. I'll just do like a random line like that. And then go in with your smear tool. The only part I would really blend really good is the tip. Now here, if you want, because I like doing this, because it shows motion, if you just go a little bit like that, right? Give the lines, that way they're not completely straight, you know? Just the thicker part of it. See what I'm saying? Make it a little zigzaggy. Here, just smooth it out a bit. Maybe down here. I gotta be careful with the other stuff though. Kind of messed up that flow I had over here. But that's okay, I've just fixed it. Okay. Blend this one out a bit. And here. See what it's doing? It's giving it more flow. Kind of messed up this here. That's okay, I can fix it. This I might fix a little. And then over here. There. And then you got your water. If you want like reflections from the sun, I go just, you don't have to go greener. I would just go a little whiter. Kind of stay in the gray though. And just like add random sparkles. And just know that when you do use liquid oil, it does expand. So be careful how thick you make it. So we're going to have some glimmer here. If you want, you can blend it out. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Don't just put it in the same spot in each wave. This part really shiny. Personally, I don't think this one needs it really. Maybe like 3 spots, but I might have overdone it here. So here, make the brush smaller, blend it out. That one I'm going to leave not blended. This one I'm going to a little bit. This one needs blended. I'm just going to drag it a bit. This one, I'm not going to leave it. This one I'm going to blend. I'm not going to make it too bright for there. Here, I'm going to drag it a bit. Go that way, go that way. This one's going to get a little blended here. I'm going to do a little bit over here. This one needs some blending. And for these, honestly, you randomly pick out spots. And you know, wherever you think that the light is hitting it, it's basically your judgment. Then boom, there's your wave. And then you would just do the same thing back here. And then when you go back further, maybe don't use as much detail. So I wouldn't be using all of these colors back here. I mean, you could. I wouldn't personally. Maybe instead of all these highlights, you would use, you could probably use the brighter one, but then not this color. Not this color. I would maybe go lower, like there. You know? I mean, again, it's your choice. You can decide. You know what's good. You guys can make the judgment. You guys are all artistic. So yeah, that is how you make a wave. So if you have any questions, leave comments down below. I'll answer them the best I can. So I hope this was helpful. And again, if you want to, learn from Mural Joe, you can. He is more into traditional art, so if you're trying to learn how to paint traditionally that way, he is a good person to learn from. But I applied what I learned from him and used it with my digital art. So maybe you'll pick up a few other things from him and use it towards your digital art. I don't know. Who knows? He's a cool dude and you can learn a lot from him. So, thank you again for watching my video, and I hope to see you guys soon.